Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. We got David and Max here. We're back from Dubai. David has survived going out with the team. David, what did you guys do when you went out?
We didn't steal any taxis, but there was some good times. The weather was warm. As you can see, they took my tan off me at customs, so I'm back to being pale. But yeah, we kind of signed an agreement that 90% of what happened we couldn't talk about, so I'm going to have to keep quiet, I'm afraid.
That's right. I've heard you mention that you've been to Vegas before, so you clearly have brought that with you, the concepts, the motto.
Yeah, I learned me lesson there for later life.
Yeah, I could tell it was eventful because you started it off with saying something you didn't do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what? We did everything. Gentlemen, let's start with a Watford preview. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of stuff, and then I'll hand the baton to Max because he has a really good opposition view with John from the podcast From the Rookery End. That is on our channel already. You should check that out as well. All right? So, quickly, Watford are 11th in the table with 30 points. They are 8-6-13. That is their overall record. Recent matches, they lost 2-0 to West Ham. I'm going to point out I said nil and not 0. Because I've caught some wagging fingers about that recently. They also beat Chelsea 4-1. And they drew with Stoke. Probable lineup, they'll probably have Carnizas in goal, Mariappa, Prodl, Holebas, Janmat, Doucouré, Capu, Zegalar, some guy named Deulofeu, Troy Deeney, and Richarlison probably be up front. Dangerman, I think we have to assume that Doucouré is a solid player, Richarlison, who we've seen before as well, and Deulofeu, who we know better than a lot of the people who play on our team now. So, guys, Max, you spoke with John about Watford. Give us the inside scoop.
Well, something that I kind of drew from the chat with John was since Javi Gracia has come in, it's very much a feeling out process for him of getting used to playing in the Premier League. He particularly mentioned that game against West Ham, which I looked over, and Watford weren't particularly poor in that match. It was just 2 defensive errors that led to goals, and that was that really. So as John said, it was pretty much okay. That for Gracia, it was the idea of okay, this is what it's like to play West Ham. This is what it's like to play in the Premier League, and I assume that would be the same for every game going forward for Watford. So again, I assume they got that monumental win over Chelsea, which I'm sure will go down in recent Watford history, and that was at Vicarage Road as well. So I'm sure being back in front of their own fans, they'll want to keep a good home form running.
And I'm also thinking they're going to remember the last time we played them. Maybe have
definitely.
a little payback on their mind, one would think. So, David, out of the Dangermen I just mentioned there, Deulofeu and Richarlison, how are we going to compete with that speed? Because in a minute I'm going to ask you for your lineups, and I feel like this is a natural segue to that. But what are we going to do about these fast guys on the outside?
I don't know. Well, what can you do, really? There isn't much pace in our team, especially near the back. So it's tough. They are 2 very good players. The only thing we can hope for, certainly in Deulofeu's case, he's got a lot of inconsistency to his game. So there's the fact he's going to be playing an old club. So will he want to be that next level? Potentially, yes. But equally, I feel like if you're quite rough with Deulofeu, we can go missing very quickly. So that's maybe how I'd deal with him. A couple of early strong challenges. They don't need to be illegal challenges where you're giving away stupid fouls, but just a bit of strength with him. I think you can see him out the game early on. As I said, he can be one of those players that goes missing where it's not going his way. Same for Richarlison. I think he's been very good this year, but I'd probably treat him the same way. These kind of quick and nimble players, you've got to be quite tough with them early on. And I do believe our defence is capable of that. What we're lacking in pace. We've certainly got a bit of strength there. We haven't always seen it this year, but I think that's probably the best way we're going to be able to deal with them.
Yeah, part of me wishes that we had a couple of kind of wingbacks that will bomb forward. Because I think about De La Feu, and one of the things that people criticized him about is fitness. So if we had somebody who was bombing down that left side, he would be having to constantly track back and defend, and he'd be worn out pretty quickly. But that's not really where we're at, is it?
Yeah, well, that's like Koeman was so quick to keep him off the side, wasn't he? Because he wasn't doing his defensive duties. And that's certainly something we should be exploiting.
Yeah. I was just going to say that, I was glad that you kind of brought that up because, whatever wing that he gets placed on, I feel if we overload that side and try and exploit that side, always try and shift it over and get it flow crossing. I'm assuming Niasse is gonna start up front, even though I don't necessarily want him to start again. I want Tosin to start, but I'm assuming Niasse is going to start. So we're going to be getting crosses into the box, and we all know that De La Feu isn't notorious for his defensive work. So I feel like we can definitely exploit them in that sense.
Max, do you want to give the rest of your lineup there, just to kind of put us into that segment?
Yeah. I think obviously Pickford in goal, Martina at left back, who I think it's worth noting that he's nowhere near as poor as he was, say, a few weeks ago. He's definitely improved, and I've seen recently he's commented on he's been working on using his left foot with Duncan Ferguson in training. So credit to the lad. At centre back, Dubai playboy Mason Holgate with Michael Keane, and again, unsure if Seamus Coleman will be fit. So John Joe Kenny at right back. I think we've got to stick with that three-man midfield of Rooney, Davies and Garner, because I just feel like it works so well, and we need to stick with that consistency. And the three men up front, Sigurdsson. I'm going to say Niasse because, the lad scored in his last game. It was a very good performance from him. Although I would like to see Tosin start, I can understand if Niasse gets the nod. And Walcott on the other wing. Gotcha.
David, what are you thinking?
I can't add anything to that. Pickford. Dare I say, obviously we can't with Mangala because he's injured, but I'd probably just play the exact same team that we played at Palace, if it's possible. Obviously I know Coleman's out, isn't he? So it might be a case of Kenny coming back in, but Martina definitely, he's actually been contributing slightly in up the field as well, hasn't he? He's got a couple of assists to his name, or at least he's created chances. So I think he's in a bit of, I don't know if form's the right word, but he's certainly contributing to the game. But yeah, I'd go with the same back four. I think Holgate's got to come in. I'd like to see, in terms of midfield and forward, just the exact same again. Rooney, Gay, Davies, who, by all accounts had a really good game, and then Walcott, Niasse and Sigurdsson. I think Walcott, for me at the moment, is the first name on the team sheet. Maybe with Sigurdsson, both of them being fantastic. Rooney's really adapting into that sitting role, doing a lot better than Schneiderlin. So I'm with you a little bit. I'd like to see Tosin, I really would, but I think he's going to go with Niasse. And if this is going to be 1 week, we can't complain because he did score in his last game.
Very similar themes in my lineup as well. Pickford, Kenny, Martina. I'm hoping he goes with Holgate against a team that's got some quicker up front players. So if he goes with Holgate, I don't know. I feel like Holgate and Williams are a quicker center back pairing than Keane would be. I don't know why. I've just always felt like Williams is a quicker player, maybe not as tall. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Kenny, Holgate, Williams, Martina, then Gay, Rooney, Davies, Sigurdsson, Walcott, and Niasse. Again, I would also like to start Tosin and bring in Niasse off the bench because I feel like that's a more ideal situation. But I think Big Sam is all about results and stats and all that stuff. So I think he starts Niasse. I could see Tosin coming in the last 25, 30 minutes of the game. I could see that happening. DCL coming in for Walcott because he's been doing that lately. So I could see that happening. And you know what? Schneiderlin could end up coming in if for some reason we have a lead and he wants to protect it. That might happen. You know?
Do you think that under Sam's watch, this is one of the expected wins?
Yes, I do, actually. The thing is, like the way he said earlier, I think he tipped it off. He's going to do less rotation. You know what he said?
Yeah, I just think particularly with it being away, and we all know what shit show the last away performance was. So I'm just, he's always first to comment on, the home form is where we place all the importance. So I'm just erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
That it comes 4:30 on Saturday, and we see a completely different lineup to what we're expecting.
Yeah, you're kind of bracing for it. You know what I mean? Like, just in case. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't. But you know what? We've come now that I'm realizing it was Sam who said that they won't be rotating as much now. He lies. He lies a lot. He just feeds untruths to the media. So maybe he'll go 3 at the back again. Who knows? I feel like he sees a team that is below us in the table as a winnable game, regardless if it's away or home. I hope that's the way. You know what I mean? So anyway, but so predictions. David, who wins this? What's the score?
I'll be honest, I'm not confident. I think Watford aren't great, but our away form is just so poor, and it has been for so long that there's not a team in the league that I fancy Everton to go to and win at the moment. It's not a case of not being good enough. I just don't believe they have enough belief to go and win a game. I feel like if we were drawing 1-1 with 80 minutes on the clock, we'd be the ones sitting back, whereas other teams would go on to try and win it. For that reason alone, I don't fancy a win. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
But I just think that in reality, we should have been in the half for that next round in the FA Cup, and the fact that they've gone away to Dubai, it's almost like coming back from a pre-season or coming back from a break. You want to start. You want to kick-start again with a bang. And I'm hoping that's how the lads approach this game. Again, if this match was coming up a week after the Crystal Palace game, I probably would have been similar to David. But I just feel like the fact they've had the trip away to Dubai, with very much the focus being on being more cohesive as a team. I think that it's going to be a 3-1 win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm confident as well. Mainly because I'm confident in this formation and this lineup from the mids forward.
Yeah,
I'm feeling much better when you have those 3 guys in the middle. And Walcott on one side, Sigurdsson on another, and I don't really care which striker's in there. I'm fine with any of those 3 popping up there. I think we could get a result with any 3 of them, any one of the 3. So I'm more worried about our wing backs, our outside backs, giving up silly opportunities to their speed. Having said that, I think we'll give up a goal, but I'm going to say 2-1. I think we're going to win. I felt pretty confident going to the last one too, because I was hoping he would go back to that thing that was working, which he did, which was cool. I mean, our predicted lineups last time were pretty on point, guys. We were like 1 or 2 players off, and I was like, alert the media, people. we got something right. But none of us are predicting a loss, which of course you know what that means. Sorry, Blues, our bad. But yeah. It's going to be confusing when I'm watching this with my kid on Saturday and Zed card starts playing, and my kid's like, "Are they at Everton?" No, buddy.
They wish they were. Trying to be.
So, serious question though: who was playing Zed cars first?
Us.
We were, because I know it's a really old tune. I know that. But and I did a little research on it one day, but I wasn't completely sure how the history of that worked out. So
I mean, yeah, it was. Someone might correct me, but even if I knew for a fact it wasn't us, I would point blank say Everton.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Just die on the sword that you live by.
So is this more of the De La Feu derby or the Z-Cars derby?
The Z-Cars derby. That's what I've been calling it. It's the Z-Cars derby.
Nice. So guys, that's been our Watford preview. We're for the most part we're confident. David's a little more cautious, but yeah, I think it could be a good game though. I think it'll be exciting. So
yeah.
So that's it for this segment. If you like the videos, thanks. Subscribe. We're 10 away from 500. This close. So if we go based on averages, we should have 500 by next week sometime, which would be awesome. Leave a like, leave a comment. That'd be awesome as well.
With his averages.
Yeah, I know. I've been checking my analytics. And check out David's stuff on the Toffee Blues website and on the Sportsman. Check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. And that's it. We're going to go do more video. Bye.